Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Chilltown Hoops. I'm your host, Jermaine. The youngsters call me OG. My friends call me J-Dub. Let's get to it. Great teams have an identity. Pittsburgh Steelers. That was smash mouth football. You knew when you were going to play the Pittsburgh Steelers, that's what you were going to get. You were going to get punched in the face. So you better be prepared for that. The San Francisco 49ers. That's where the West Coast offense originated from. We're going to move the ball, and we're going to move the ball fast up and down the field. The Los Angeles Lakers. It was Showtime basketball. We are going to give you a show. We are going to run you into the ground. That's who we are. What I saw last night was Miami Heat basketball. That's who they are. We are a tough, gritty, hard-nosed basketball team that's going to outwork you. And it's not going to look good. There are plenty of times where it's going to get ugly. But the job is going to get done. And that's their mantra. That's who the Miami Heat are. And a lot of times they don't get a lot of credit for that simply because of that. It's not pretty. It's not sexy. You watch a guy like Jimmy Butler, and Jimmy Butler doesn't blow you away with his athleticism. He doesn't blow you away with his skill set. But Jimmy Butler has the will. And with that will, he imposes it on guys, which is what I saw last night. Which is absolutely what I saw last night. And it resonated throughout his crew. The Miami Heat aren't a great offensive team. Once again, they're not gonna blow you away with a bunch of guys who can score the basketball. They get a lot of action off the basketball. They get a lot of movement, which would explain why they get a lot of open shots. But then you got guys who do a lot of dirty work stuff. PJ Tucker, Dedmon, Victor Oladipo. You got guys that do a lot of dirty work stuff, and it helps them tremendously. So early on, I saw a Boston Celtics team that looked focused. They got a lot of stuff early. Jayson Tatum looked really good early. He was going downhill. He was getting Robert Williams involved in the offense early. A lot of pick and dive, a lot of lobs. And it was working. And the Miami Heat offense wasn't working. So how are they going to get points? Well, the Miami Heat, what they do a lot of times is they generate their points off turnovers. Because when you get in the half court, they have a tendency to go dry. And they're not able to score. So how do they generate points? Well, they generate points by speeding the game up. They speed the game up by getting turnovers. And how were they able to do that? Well, they were able to speed Jayson Tatum up. They jumped him a lot. They forced him to the baseline a lot. Because he's a middle driver. When you're going down the middle of the lane, that's who Jayson Tatum is. I mean, he drives right, but that's if he's going down the middle. His weak hand is really good if he's going down the middle. Jayson Tatum falls in love with the long ball. He absolutely falls in love with the long ball. When he's got it going, he's got it going when he's going to the basket, and he's playmaking, and he's getting to the stripe. I can't say this enough, guys. Once he gets that mid-range figured out, once he gets that in-between figured out, it's gonna be something completely different. Jaylen Brown got going later on, but early on he was slow, and the reason why he was slow is because Jayson Tatum took the lead, and that's what the lead dog is supposed to do. I was really impressed with Robert Williams and what he did early. I really dug that. Him being around the rim. Being the rim protector that he was. But then came the second half. And then came Miami Heat basketball. And in the third quarter, I'm talking about a team who completely shut the door on these guys. Boston went over 7 minutes without a field goal. Now, you can withstand that when you have a great defense. You can withstand that when you have a great defense. Boston did that same thing against Brooklyn in game one, where they went in the fourth quarter. They went almost 8 minutes without scoring. And they ended up allowing Brooklyn to get back in the game. So this isn't uncharacteristic of them. They've done it before. But their defense was good enough that they can hold guys. So you can have scoring droughts. Boston in particular. You can have a scoring drought. But at some point, we have to get going. And they never did. They never did. So when you guys go over almost 7 minutes without scoring, and this is the way Miami plays, a lot of their offense is generated from their defense. That's how they speed the game up when they go on droughts. That's exactly how they speed the game up, where they get guys in transition. I mean, Miami had 18 points off of 22 turnovers that Boston had. That's huge. That's absolutely huge, and that gets our offense going. And once they did that, they never looked back. They never looked back. They out-rebounded Boston. They outworked Boston. They out-toughed Boston. That was Miami Heat basketball yesterday. That was absolutely Miami Heat. That was absolutely Miami Heat basketball yesterday. We're talking about a team who did a great job in rim protecting. I mean, they had 12 blocks. 5 of those 12 blocks came in the second half. And I hear a lot of times people saying stuff like, which I think is incredible, he's the better basketball player. Well, the reason why you hear people say that is because what they're trying to do is they're trying to elevate a person over another. And better basketball player, all that means is more talented. That's it. That's another way of saying more talented. Well, I've seen better basketball players get outplayed. Prime example would be last night. I think that Jayson Tatum is a more talented player than Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler outplayed him last night. And Jimmy Butler outplayed him last night by sheer will. That's who Jimmy Butler is. He imposes his will on you. Jimmy Butler's not going to blow you away with his skill set. He's not going to wow you with his athleticism. He's gonna outwork you. He's gonna out-tough you on both the offensive and defensive end of the ball. A lot of his stuff gets generated on defense. That gets him going. And then when he gets into the half court, what ends up happening is he'll get one thing going, and then after that, it's I'm just gonna keep doing this, and you're not gonna be able to stop me. And he basically imposed his will on Jayson Tatum. Just imposed his will on him. And I could see Jayson Tatum, as time went on, start to wither. It was almost like watching a boxer beat down a boxer, where he gets him on the ropes and he just starts beating him down. And there's really nothing that you can do to stop it. And that's who Jimmy Butler is. And this boxer, he's not super fast with the hands. He doesn't have great footwork. His technique isn't impeccable. But his will, combined with his skill set, completely shuts the door on a guy. And that's what happened last night with Jimmy Butler. He just outworked Jayson Tatum. So I'm not going to entertain, I doubt that I'll entertain any more of this better basketball player logic. Because I've seen better basketball players, aka more talented players, get outplayed. Again, I think that Jayson Tatum is a more talented player than Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler outplayed him last night. I think Kevin Durant is a more talented player than Jayson Tatum. Jayson Tatum outplayed him in that series. You can be a more talented player and get outplayed. That can happen. Last night is evidence of that. Last playoff series is evidence of that. I think that LeBron James is a more talented player than Dirk Nowitzki. Dirk Nowitzki outplayed him in that series. I've seen that countless times. So, moving forward, this is definitely going to be a series of wills. I still think that Boston is better offensively in terms of talent. I think Miami is deeper. I think that they got a great contribution from their bench. I thought Hero was great last night, 18 points, and he gave them 8 rebounds. That was huge. 8 rebounds. Victor Oladipo came off the bench and gave them some really good minutes. He didn't shoot it very well, but he came off the bench and gave them some really good minutes. 2 steals and a block. You know, a lot of people forget Victor Oladipo was an all-league defender before he got injured. Before he got injured, he was an all-league defender. So, Caleb Martin came in and gave them some good minutes. And Dedmon, also, another dirty work guy, came in and gave them some really good minutes. That bench outscored Boston 34-26. 28, I'm sorry. 28. Now, moving forward, the effort has to be there. I saw the X's and O's. I thought Udoka did a good job of sticking with what was working, which was early in the game, Jayson Tatum going downhill and involving Robert Williams, getting into the mid-range and involving Robert Williams, going to the basket. Same thing with Jaylen Brown. I thought that they were getting a lot of what they wanted. I thought the adjustment that Spoelstra made was huge, which was getting in a matchup zone. That's what created a lot of their turnovers. And as I said, turnovers create offense for Miami when their offense is slowed down. In fact, that's a big part of their offense. I thought that was a great adjustment for Eric Spoelstra when he got into that matchup zone. I really think that this is going to be a 6-7 game series. I picked Boston to win it. I'm sticking with it, but because I don't expect Jimmy Butler to go for if we're going to get 40, 35, and 40 from Jimmy Butler, and they're going to get outworked like that, they're going to make quick work of Boston, and I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening at all. I will say that I think Boston will make an adjustment, and I think that they will be better. I wouldn't be surprised if I would not be surprised if Miami took both of these games at home, especially the way they outworked them. But we're definitely going to see. This is playoff basketball, guys. This is playoff basketball, and this is what playoff basketball looks like. It's not going to be pretty all the time. Sometimes it's going to get ugly. But that's going to be the difference in winning and losing. Are you prepared to play that way? And I thought that Miami played that way because that's Miami basketball. That's Miami Heat basketball. And I enjoyed that. So, and I enjoy you guys. So I'm going to be here for as long as you guys have me here. So it's good to see you. I'll see you soon. But until then, take it light, but take it.